The Yellers really is more like a family than it is just a band. It's like it's something that you're part of. If you've been in it or you played in it, then it's like you're a Yeller.
Welcome to the show.
Well, the first record I ever had was Johnny Cash at San Quentin, and it just inspired me, like, that's what I want to do. I want to do that more than anything else.
I remember those days long ago. I remember those nights we lay low. 7 come 11 and we cashed it.
I was working here, I was playing some guitar, I was working in town in Portland, and I was friends with this band, local band, Jackstraw, and used to do some management stuff for them and booking stuff for them, and it was just kind of like I liked playing music more than watching it, and so I decided I'm going to play. Portland has a great scene of music just in general. I mean, there's jazz, there's punk, there's rock, there's an alt-country scene, there's everything you want you can kind of find here in this town. And in some ways, you know, we've been on the fringe of that scene in a way, like never really fully in it and embracing it, and then in other ways we're like dead at the center of it. Music should be an art form that's able to tell a story, that's able to evolve the consciousness. In the world that we're in today, there's a great need for us to evolve our consciousness beyond the petty things that are going on. And the idea for House Band for the Revolution really was that we need a revolution. We need a revolution of mind, we need a revolution of spirit, we need a revolution between people, and we need to have that as soon as possible for this environment, for this world, for everyone to live in this kind of place, in a kind of way that's sustainable and is bringing life forth as opposed to stamping it down. You know, we figure, let's have a revolution and let's make it happen and let's sing about it and let's talk about it and let's do it, and while we're at it, we'll just play the music soundtrack for it. It sounds great.
Poor and the working man, singing your songs all across this land. California, are you missing your rebel son? Firing his guitar like a gun.
Matt and I just put this idea together to focus on doing it together and on harmony and really singing together and making something unique. And so I think that's, you know, the genesis of how we got started together.
Well, the harmony vocal thing, looking back, now I remember clearly when I was in high school and I would drive around and I'd have the same tapes, you know, playing over and over in the car, or the radio would be on. I would make up harmony parts with whatever was playing. Like I didn't gravitate towards singing the lead part of whatever song I was into. I was always making up like harmony parts in the back, just whatever I heard. Unconventional stuff, you know, without even realizing, well, that's a third or that's a fifth or a ninth or whatever. I was just making up my own parts, and that's kind of worked. It served me well over the years, especially now when I work with people and I just go in and do a part. And it just happened the other day, we were doing some tracking and we were doing vocal overdubs, and I was supposed to do, like, you know, well, go in there and do whatever you can. And I went in and I did one harmony part. What are those hills over yonder, my love? Great. And then I thought, well, I got another one for that. And I went in and stacked a second part. And I'm sure it was not 3. And in some cases, I'd stack a third part on that.
Sank down at the bottom of the sea.
Just by ear, you know, and I think a lot of that had to do with those years and years of just driving around, you know, singing with whatever 80s tunes were on the radio.
upon you, all of them crumble. You'll rape our motherland. I hope you're rotting down in hell for the horrors that you sent to our...
I think I've been playing guitar with Michael Berly and the Old Yellers for about 12 years now. I feel like I've learned how to really play a lead guitar playing this kind of music because it's a very different approach than, say, the 80s rock that I was first taught, was learning how to play guitar. Lead guitar then was such a different approach. It's almost like you can't get away with that anymore. That's almost, it's a faux pas to play a guitar solo, except in country music at this point. This is the only genre I know where it's even allowed anymore. You start doing it in any other genre and people are gonna, it's like, open the door and you're not allowed to solo at all. So I guess I like to hybridize something between rhythm guitar playing and lead guitar playing, where you try to respond to what's going on melodically, respond, and also to give the rhythms and accents. You know, if it's real straight, rhythmically, it's nice to, the guitar can kind of push it and pull it in different ways. I like that kind of like that approach.
Medicine is there to help people reestablish balance and transcend stresses or obstacles. Music is the same extension. When we look at the harmonica as an instrument, it's so small. It can fit in your pocket. It also, on a vocal range, is right there with singing.
So God bless old Johnny Cash. God save this whole damn world. Feel me in the flesh before I am dead and gone. Before I'm dead and gone.
When you're playing harmonica, it's very important to layer yourself. It can be used as a percussion instrument, it can be used as a solo instrument, it can reinforce the melody. And its history, for me, you find it in all kinds of music, not just blues. And it comes from this ability to transmit emotion very easily.
We've got a large family of musicians that contribute, and they're all versatile musicians that bring their uniqueness, which is also informed by everything that they're a part of. So that helps to add to the stew.
Jack and I wrote this cool little line that goes up. I've kind of been out cultivating my own really non-Yellers like career on the mandolin, kind of this hybrid of jazz and classical music and instrumental, like not a bar party band. And those guys were cool with it. They're always super supportive, and I do this because these guys are my friends.
I'm playing mostly pedal steel, a little bit of dobro. I got a little metal-bodied brass nickel-plated old Regal that I play a little bit on, and some guitar. They're all great dudes and cool songs, you know? I mean, good musicianship and easygoing. It's an easygoing scene, you know? I mean, I'm fortunate. I'm pretty busy and I can't play every gig all the time with him, but Michael's super casual about, hey, come and play when you can and don't worry about it if you can't make it. So that's fun for me.
All of us in the band are songwriters, and so I think that everyone having that creative juice on their own, bringing it together, and playing from that point of view, even if you're not playing each other's songs necessarily all the time, but just being able to play from the space of a songwriter makes a big difference, I think, in a band, and everyone has that in this group.
It's an opportunity for me to play guitar. I mostly do like acoustic bluegrass stuff, but have always played in rock bands, and so it's my main project right now that I'm getting to play electric guitar and play rock in. I love the songs that Berly writes. They're really fun to play. You know, just like nice and folky and super danceable and catchy.
I think in this band my role is to just try to lay down solid groove, lock in with Joe on bass, and let Michael's voice and let the solo instruments kind of take the spotlight. And the project's been happening for a long time, and I'm just kind of joining on, you know, way middle of the stream. So, you know, I've seen them in the past play, and it's, you know, it's a pleasure to be playing with these guys.
Chains be falling, no more will we be bound.
Portland's been a, you know, tight-knit community since when I moved out here. As far as this scene goes, the alternative country thing, and we all just kind of, you know, just kind of do our thing, and that's, yeah, it's pretty simple.
Swinging with his head hung down.
Well, I was the only one that had a drum set. They're like, come on down, because I'm usually the bass player, but they're like, you got the drum set, dude, come on down, we'll feed you.
Justice comes swift, hanging from a tree, and it will surely come if you tax our liberty. A shameful pall fill the air, and it can only be.
Really, the music that we're playing is an extension of the music coming from Europe, and now we're taking it back.
The Yellers have been to Ireland about 5 or 6 times. You know, here in the States you're playing, and unless you got a gig, you know, where like a regular gig where people are coming to see you and stuff, you're just in some place where you're playing and who the heck knows what's going on outside, and you finish and people are like, you know, and move on and whatever. But over there, you go to these venues and you sit down, and some of them you're there and there's just people sitting and they're dead silent and they're just looking at you, and you play your song, hello, here we are, we're from America, you play your song, you finish your song, the place claps, and then they're instantly silent again.
Paddy Kavanagh's brilliant song, Raglan Road. Written about a woman who did not return his affections. Quite rightly, she was happily married. It's one of the great songs of lost love.
I'm delighted to be joined by Michael, Matt, Darren, the Don, and Dr. Metro, a real doctor in our midst, Dr. Metro. They all are part of the Old Yellers, and they've come down to visit us here in Avondale today. Welcome back.
Thank you very much. It's good to be back again with you.
Jesus, man, Ireland, it's just a musical place.
I saw the danger, yet I walked along the enchanted way. And I said,
Go to Ireland. Everywhere you go, there's music. It's a valid and highly valued part of woven into the fabric of life there.
on Grafton Street in November, we trip lightly along the ledge.
They set the bar, I think, for expressing things that I wouldn't say it's not a culture that's fixated on the hard logic and reason and the cold hard facts. It's a culture that really expresses passion.
By such is happiness thrown away.
Well, bringing that morphed, American sound back to Ireland was exciting. We didn't really know what to expect, but we were well received right from the very beginning. And part of that could have been this affinity of the melodies, that are from their ancestors, as well as ours, some of ours, mine at least, and probably everyone in the band has some connection. But there's that affinity from the past that's just kind of in the blood maybe, or at least it's in the greater cultural subconsciousness. And we brought that hybrid back.
go there and you're just inspired by being there because of the music. And a lot of really American music, which is that music of Elvis and Johnny Cash, and when you combine that with the black music and the sounds that were coming out of the South, and you put all that together, in some ways that was influenced originally by Irish people playing their music, and that formed that Appalachian music. And so, you know, there's a deep connection to the kind of music we're playing, which is very American. And when you go over there and play that music, you know, people go, this is it, this is the sound.
Well, everywhere in the world, they love American music. In Ireland, I think that there was a give and take there. You know, we took from them, they appreciated it, so it sounded a little bit like home.
There, everybody's hanging on every word you're saying, and you learn on your feet. You know, like, tell a story. This is, you know, this song was, and they love it, and it's a really different experience getting to play music there, and I think, you know, the band really appreciated that and brought something great to it and got something great from it.
So we went to this bar in the middle of the afternoon, and there was maybe half a dozen people in there, and I just said, I want to buy a round for the bar. And I didn't buy a round in there, I don't think, there for several years.
We saw scattered sun coming down like a waterfall. We saw lonely clouds wandering across the mountaintop. I remember sunshine, and I remember the rain.
How do you evolve and grow and change and create something that is going to be better and lasting in the world? Musically, as a legacy for the world, not for yourself.
We do it with heart and not really any pretense about it. We just do it because we love it. That's the main thing. That's what drives Berly. He's trying to give you something that's it's a witness to the truth of his heart.
The drive for the band is more of a brother love. And what that means is we're all coming together with common interests and goals, and through art and creativity, improve both our lives and other people's lives.
We just have this way of making friends, you know, and we like to say that, you know, it's really more about making friends than it is about making money. Because money will come, you know, if you just kind of do your thing and follow your passion and really do your best, you know, you'll find a way to sustain yourself. But making friends is really our main goal, and always has been, is getting out there and just taking it to the people.
What's it like being a yeller?
It's better than being blue. It's better than being red. Better dead than red, I say.
Orange stars, green clovers, blue diamonds, purple horseshoes, little white sheep, women that look like men.
Signs point to yes.
Yes. So it's signs point to yes, yes, and fuck yes.
Not your first time in Ireland?
Not our first time. This is our 4th year being here in Ireland, and second time this year actually that we've been back. So we love it here. We love playing music. The people are great. We like to make a lot of friends, and we have a really good time here.
You were saying money's not important, it's the friend making. You've
That's
managed
right.
to make a couple of those. In fact, we have a gentleman here today that's actually gone and visited you in Portland, Oregon. That's where you're all from.
That's where we're from, Portland, Oregon, and that's always been our motto coming over here. It's not about making money, it's about making friends, although making money's not so bad either.
Yeah, wouldn't say no to a bit of that.
That's it.